I continue to be amazed by the lack of respect and, sometimes just outright hatred from the national NBA media when it comes to the Utah Jazz. This is a team sitting at the top of the Western Conference, depending on when you watch this video, the top of the NBA. And this is what we hear. Man, don't give me all that. In today's video, I'm talking about the Utah Jazz, okay? Is this team a legit contender or are they pretenders? And, how are they winning all of these games and what are they doing to be, I think, one of the most fun teams to watch in the NBA this season? Hey, it's Troy. Subscribe, turn on those notification bells. You don't ever want to miss a video on this channel. Fresh and consistent NBA content several times a week. So if that's your thing, then I would love if you drop a subscribe. And while you're here, make sure you like this video. It is a great way to let me know that you are enjoying the content that you're seeing today. And if you're a Utah fan, you gotta like this video. You gotta comment. Tell me you're a Utah fan in the comments because this is a video for you and I think you are going to love it. This is a team that is not talked nearly enough about in the media. And frankly, for that matter, on NBA YouTube, well, that changes right now. Because this is a team, if you're not a Jazz fan, you need to be paying attention to. It is so sad that this is a team that fails to get the attention that they deserve. This team is winning by double digits, okay? This is a team that, in some cases, blowing other teams just right off the floor. This team is playing with an edge. They are leading the NBA, depending on when you watch this video, in point differential. They're the only team in the NBA that sits in the top 5 in both offensive and defensive efficiency. And, hey, newsflash, when you're top 5 in offense and in defense, then you're going to be a pretty good team because that means you can score a lot of points, and it also means you can keep the other team from scoring a lot of points. Another thing the Jazz are doing, they are killing it from three-point range. Basically everybody except for their two big guys and Rudy Gobert and Derek Favors are shooting the three-pointer at not only a pretty consistent rate, but also at a pretty consistent volume. As of right now, the Utah Jazz are the number 2 team in the league in three-point rate this season. They're attempting a 3 on almost half of their field goal attempts, okay? Utah is making about 40% of those three-pointers. That is the second best three-point percentage in the league right now. So the rate at what they're doing all of this is just outstanding to watch. There's a few key reasons why the Jazz are, I think, a pretty much improved team from where we saw them last year. One reason, of course, those three-pointers. Another reason is because of the play of Mike Conley. So if you're a fan of this channel, you'll know that I'm a Grizz fan. I watched Mike Conley for 10, 12 years when he was in Memphis, all the way since he was a rookie drafted 4th overall. When Conley was traded to the Jazz, it was kind of a bittersweet moment because the Grizz were rebuilding. We wanted Conley to go to a nice team that had a chance not only to get into the playoffs year after year, but maybe hopefully compete for a championship. And Grizzlies fans were really happy with the return that we got from that Mike Conley trade. And I think at the time, Utah was pretty happy with the trade as well. But it turns out Conley took some time to adjust to this new Utah team. Because think of it this way, he'd been playing with the same guys for many, many years. So it took him some time to be the type of player that we were all expecting him to be. But this season, he is just coming out and he is on fire. This is looking like one of Conley's best seasons of his career. When it's all said and done at this rate, I think it will be the best season of his career. He's finally comfortable around guys like Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert. He's finally understanding the Utah system after playing in that Grizzlies system for so many years. His shooting efficiency has improved. He's making really nice decisions on the floor. He's playing really well with his teammates. He's playing like the prime Mike Conley that we all thought he could be. So yeah, it took him a year to find his groove, how Conley got his groove back, but I think it's finally happened. This is the type of point guard Utah was wanting to get in this trade. Then you got Donovan Mitchell, Spida Mitchell himself. This guy can do it all. Rebound, score, hit the three, dish the ball. Rudy Gobert has the size, the speed, awesome defensive anchor for this Utah team. Just throw the ball up and he's gonna get a lob. He is a monster out there setting the screens, getting guys open. And as I mentioned before, he's gonna have those teammates that can shoot the three-pointer and odds are make that three-pointer. So whether it's rebounding, blocking shots, catching lobs, pick and roll. Bogdanovich, I think he's finally starting to round back into form. You know, he had that surgery in the offseason. He missed the bubble. His scoring and his efficiency is a little down from last season, but he's one of those guys who's always a threat to go off. He's always a threat to light it up from three. Coming off the bench, you've got Filipino super sub Philippines. Are you listening? Jordan Clarkson. This guy, I think he should be sixth man of the year. Since Clarkson came over in that trade from Cleveland last year, he has really been doing well for this Utah team. Signing him this offseason was a definite priority. I'm glad they did it. Clarkson is second place on the Jazz team in scoring. Then you have Joe Ingles. You have Derek Favors. I think these guys would be starting on a lot of teams. When you add those guys to the 5 starters you have, you know, conceivably you could have like 6, 7, 8 guys that should be starting on other teams. So when you have your, 8 starters, that really bodes well for your offense, for your defense, and just doing really well this season, advancing into the playoffs. So you add all this together, great offense, great defense, smart players, guys who can play well together, lots of chemistry, guys who know their role. Really good coaching in Quinn Snyder. One of the best defensive players, if, maybe not the best defensive player in the league right now in Rudy Gobert. You have a backcourt star in Donovan Mitchell. Then all the glue guys who can help hold the rest of the team together. This is a team that, you're not going to hear about as much when you compare, the Lakers and the Clippers. But you have a team that has balance on both ends of the floor. You have a team that is poised to make a deep playoff run. I want to know what you guys think in the comments though. If you're a Utah fan, you definitely need to comment on this video. Tell me what you think of what the Jazz have put together, and are you a bit surprised at all with what we're seeing? For me personally, I am a little bit surprised. I had the Jazz as a top 4 team in the Western Conference, but I was still a little dubious, especially after what had happened in Orlando and how they weren't able to make it out of the first round. I thought, okay, are we just going to see a repeat again this coming season? But fortunately for Utah Jazz fans, that hasn't happened, and I'm really happy for Utah, especially because I'm a huge Conley fan, so I want to see him do well. I want to see the Jazz do well. If you've enjoyed this video, would love if you drop a like on this vid. Would also love if you subscribe to the channel for fresh and consistent NBA content several times a week. Once again, my name is Troy. Thank you so much for watching the video today, and I will see you next time.